Did you know that the concept of curry was introduced to Vietnam by Indian spice traders in the 19th century? Vietnamese people then utilized those spices, adapted it to their own local taste, and combined it with indigenous ingredients like lemongrass and coconut milk to create a creamy and aromatic curry that is uniquely Vietnamese. So today, we're making my version of Vietnamese chicken curry, or curry gai. This dish is so nostalgic for me, and it really warms up the soul. Alright y'all, remember to wash your hands. The first step in making our chicken curry is marinating our chicken. Now growing up, my mom would actually break down a whole chicken and cut it into bite-sized pieces. But one of my least favorite things when it comes to eating is picking out little bone shards or fragments. So for my version, we're using whole drumsticks to make it super easy. I have 4 pounds of drumsticks here that I'm marinating simply with 2 tablespoons of yellow Madras curry powder. We'll give that a good mix and let that vibe out in the fridge covered for at least half an hour, but like with most marinades, the longer the better. While our chicken is marinating, we'll move on to step 2 and get the rest of our prep work done. We'll start by washing all of our herbs and veggies. Then we're gonna peel our carrots and potatoes, and I have about 2 pounds each. And if you like this recipe and you wanna learn how to make more of your favorite Vietnamese and Asian dishes, make sure you subscribe and turn on your notifications to stay up to date on all my latest posts. Then for our carrots and potatoes, we'll cut these up into irregular pieces while keeping the size of each cut similar. The uniform size will help cook them evenly, while the different shapes will keep things a little bit more interesting. And potatoes do cook up quicker than carrots, so you should actually cut these into bigger sizes than your carrots. Then the rest of our prep includes processing our lemongrass, and you do that by removing the top and bottom portion. And then we'll bruise our lemongrass by smacking it with the back of your knife. This will ensure that its aromatic fragrance really seeps into our curry later. Then we'll finally dice an onion. And chop up our cilantro to use as a garnish later. Moving on to step 3, which is frying everything. Now, a lot of home cooks will actually skip this step, and honestly, if I was being lazy and making this just for myself, I would probably skip it too. But the purpose of frying the carrots and potatoes is so that we can help them develop a protective border or skin so that they don't disintegrate too easily into our curry. We'll get these fried up in some vegetable oil, frying in batches and making sure not to overcrowd our pot. And we'll just fry these up for just a couple minutes or until they start to brown up slightly. We aren't looking to cook them fully here. We'll remove the carrots and potatoes, and then we'll fry our drumsticks next. This will help activate the curry powder and lock in all of its flavor and juices. Go ahead and remove everything from the pot, discard the oil while making sure you leave the fond behind. The fond has a ton of flavor that we want in our curry. Step 4 is putting it all together and actually cooking our curry. We're gonna go ahead and add in our diced onions and sweat that down. We'll deglaze our pot with just a touch of water, picking up all those little bits of flavor. Then we'll add in a tablespoon of minced garlic and we'll saute that for about 2 minutes or until fragrant. Then we'll add everything back into the pot. To that, we'll add in 4 or 5 stalks of our lemongrass. We'll add enough water to cover everything. And then drop in 3 bay leaves. We're gonna season our curry with 2 additional tablespoons of curry powder and 2 tablespoons of chicken bouillon. Bring this up to a boil, skim off any impurities that bubble up. And then we're gonna reduce the heat and let this simmer covered for about an hour. After an hour, we're gonna add in a 14-ounce can of coconut milk and let that simmer for another half an hour. After a total of 1.5 hours of cooking, we're gonna season this with a 1-inch nub of rock sugar, 2 tablespoons of MSG, and 3 tablespoons of fish sauce. Now make sure you season everything to taste and adjust the flavor to your own palate, but once you've done that, that's pretty much it. The last step is serving it and enjoying. We'll get our chicken curry into a bowl, and today I'm pairing it classically with banh mi, but you can also serve this over rice or with noodles. And then we'll garnish with our cilantro, and that's our curry. As always, the full recipe and measurements is on my blog at feedthepudge.com. Thanks for watching, hope you enjoy.